So I'm going to talk today about some ideas for quitting smoking cigarettes. Before you can figure out how to get rid of cigarettes, you need to figure out what they're doing for you. What is their function in your life? Most people, I think, need them for relaxation, or because they start to feel jittery if they don't have it, or they don't have any other way to relax. But there could also be it's just part of your daily habit. You use it to be around people, you use it to escape people, you use it to get out of work because you take a smoke break. It helps you think, helps you relax socially. There's a lot of different things, but until you know why you're smoking, it's going to be difficult to figure out how to stop smoking. So I really like journaling for these kinds of questions, but also talking to a doctor, a therapist, a friend or family member is okay too, but someone who isn't going to have an opinion is usually better, and journaling or like meditating on it would be the best. Another side of that question is, what do you like about smoking? Do you like the way it makes you feel? Do you like the way it makes you look? Do you like having a habit that's yours? Are you attached to the idea of being a smoker? What do you like about smoking? And it's probably good to make a list here, because we're also going to talk about what you don't like about smoking, and it's good to have a visual comparison of both. So the next question is, why do you want to quit? This is super different for everyone. Some people, it's expensive. Some people are worried about their health. Some people are getting pressure from other people, family members, kids. Some people are afraid of what it's doing to their physical appearance. Some people don't like the way it smells, the way it tastes, or they just feel like they are always doing something bad or wrong, and it gives them like this moral hangover, sort of. So you have to figure out what you don't like about it. And I would make a list here as well, any of the things that I just listed, and go into a lot of detail with that, because the more you process it out in your brain, the more subconscious motivation you're getting. Also, when you think about something, but then you also write it down, you're processing it twice. So your brain is pulling more information from it and building that motivation more than if you just talk about it or think about it. So as quickly as you're putting the chemicals into your body is trying to process and get them out. After only 20 minutes without a cigarette, your heart rate starts to go down, your blood pressure starts to go down, carbon monoxide starts to go down, oxygen goes up, body temperature returns to normal. After a couple hours, the nerve endings in your body start to regrow, and after a few days, your taste and smell start to return. No matter how much you've smoked, after 5 years without cigarettes, your body has done so much cleaning that your cancer-related risk is reduced by half. The other thing is that when you smoke, your body is using all of its extra energy to try to clean out the poison constantly. So you don't have a lot of extra energy for other things. Maybe you don't go to the gym or exercise because you feel tired all the time. Also, you usually get sick a lot because your body is so focused on trying to clean out the poison, it can't attend to other viruses, infections, or other things. So you're just making yourself sick pretty much all the time by compromising your immune system and clogging up your body with poison. So depending on the reasons that you have for quitting, there's a couple of different techniques that you can try. If you are concerned about the financial aspect, one idea that I like is getting a jar and putting a picture of something that you want on it, whether it's a vacation, a new car, a house, clothes, whatever. And figure out how much money you spend a month on cigarettes and put that money in the jar. And every time you want to buy cigarettes, you have to take money out of the jar. So you literally are seeing yourself not get the things that you want because you're smoking. You can also do it the opposite way. Put money in the jar when you have a good day. I really like the idea of changing your brand. Some people think that this is a waste of money, but cigarettes are a waste of money anyways. change to a brand that you don't like. For instance, Winston's, or a really gross menthol if you smoke menthols. Because when you like the cigarettes that you smoke, you don't associate them with being poison, which they really are. You associate them with being pleasure. So if you are smoking something that's disgusting, your brain's gonna start being like, I don't want this is gross. And it's easier to think about like, this has poison and rat poison and all kinds of disgusting things in it if you don't like the taste of it. If you smoke in your house or your car, I recommend cleaning the crap out of those, scrub the walls, get the tar off, like really put in a lot of effort so that you won't want to smoke in there anymore. Also, wash all of your clothes so that they don't have that smell on them anymore. Then you're more likely to notice how bad it smells when you don't have it around you all the time. Chewing on toothpick, gum, pen, even just like holding a cigarette sometimes works for some people because they have such an oral fixation or just want to be holding something. Smoking half cigarettes or only bringing the amount that you're going to smoke that day with you so that it just doesn't feel like an endless amount that are available to you. The other way, if you're not going to do cold turkey, is to figure out when you smoke. So I smoke on the way to work, I smoke on my lunch break, I smoke after I eat, for example. Figure out what's the most important cigarette you have. Maybe it's the cigarette you have every morning with your coffee. That's the most important. So you're going to quit that one last. If the other ones, like after you eat or before bed or at work, are not as important, you quit those first. So you quit the easy ones first. You get used to saying no to yourself. And then but you're still allowed to have the one that you really want. And then you gradually cut down to where you're only having like half a cigarette that you really want. Then it's much easier to just quit after that. A lot of people like to try nicotine patches, lozenges. There's also medications. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about those. I'm not as familiar with Chantix. That's kind of like a last resort. And if you have any history of depression or mental illness, it can cause nightmares and weird suicidal thoughts and other things like that. So I feel like that's a last resort. Nicotine lozenges or gum are meant to be used as needed when you're having a craving, not just throughout the day. They basically turn a little switch in your brain that tells your brain that you had a cigarette. So you want to hold those off for when you're having a craving and you take one of those, and within a few minutes, you probably get that relaxing nicotine feeling. In conjunction with patches, there's different levels of patches depending on how much you smoke. So you can start at the highest or wherever you need to and go down to kind of get that biological dependency down. Wellbutrin is a depression medicine that has been shown to just kind of help reduce your interest in smoking. So they aren't really sure why it works, but people will take it twice a day for a month or two, and it just kind of elevates your mood or makes you feel better, and also just cuts that association of smoking with feeling better. It is more of a stimulant in terms of medication, so if you have a lot of anxiety or trouble sleeping, it might not be the best option. But nicotine lozenges for sure, or the gum. The lozenges are like the little cough drops and you put them in your cheek. But you don't want to overuse those either. I think one of the biggest reasons that people smoke is to relax. It has that calming effect on you. So if that's the case, you need to find other ways to relax. If you use cigarettes for your smoke break or to get away from things, you can do something else. You can still take a break and not smoke a cigarette. You can read a book, you can go for a walk, you can call someone. Probably you want to go somewhere different than where you normally smoke, like, go for a walk outside or somewhere else, not where you associate with smoking and are going to be around smoking. I'm a big fan of meditation. Even if you do it badly, it really does seem to help most people. You need to get more connected with your body and practice just being relaxed in your body. So exercise is good, but it's also a way of like escaping how we feel. But if you really get into exercise, you will notice how much the smoking is affecting your breathing, and that can be helpful too. So relaxation techniques, not just watching TV, more hobbies, more things to fill your day, can all be ways to replace smoking, and usually you're going to have more money for these things too. If you have some anxiety or depression, it might be a little bit harder to quit because you've been kind of using it as a crutch to manage your stress or whatever it may be. Just seeing a therapist a few times to talk about that can be really, really useful. So that's my general information about quitting smoking. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them, things that have worked for you. Cold turkey is always an option. You can use some of these thought processes and techniques for that as well. Usually people like to set a date for that, and then that's it. But that doesn't mean you can't use the Wellbutrin or the patches or anything else like that. So thank you for listening, and good luck.